Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. I hope you all are having a great start to your weekend. We're going to change it up this video and actually talk about the S word, snow. Yes, there is the potential for snow in areas of the eastern U.S. I'm mainly talking about the Ohio Valley and sections of the Midwest. I know that I don't have a lot of subscribers from that area, but this is an interesting event because, anywhere snow in May outside of the higher terrain in the country in the lower 48, it's getting to the point where we're deep enough in May where it's pretty rare. But there is a chance for Mother's Day morning tomorrow that areas could wake up, like maybe Chicago, outside of Chicago, areas of northern Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, sections of Iowa, Wisconsin, could wake up to some heavy burst of snow that might accumulate. So we're going to talk about that. It's not going to be a drastically huge deal or anything, but it is very interesting. And might break some records. Who knows? We'll see. But before we get going, if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. I'm trying to keep my growth to continue to going until we get to a more active time of the year as far as weather. We're kind of entering a more slower period. There also is a severe weather event that's going to go on in the Midwest today. We're not going to talk about that much. We'll brief on it a little bit in the video. It's kind of an isolated area. It's kind of out in the middle of the basically fields of nowhere, I guess you can say. So, it's not a drastic deal. So I'm not going to talk about that much in this video. But we're going to talk about the snow event because it's very interesting. If you guys have anything that I can pray about, anything that anybody else can pray about, remember, drop it in the comments. It gives me an opportunity to pray for you guys, and it gives others also an opportunity to pray. And also, I'll have a video tonight talking about the severe weather chances as we get into early next week. So let's talk about these snow chances. So this is the HRRR model run. This is the latest long range. Here we go. Basically, what we have is this system. Notice these severe storms. These are definitely going to be severe storms. You got an MCS popping off here and moving out the Midwest, starting to move into sections of the Ohio Valley. This is a mesoscale convective system. It's basically like a squall line that's going to move through and start entering areas of Kansas and Missouri, and it's basically triggered off whatever forms here back in further deeper into Kansas to the west here and Nebraska, where discrete cells, maybe tornadic storms, could really form. But this storm is connected to this, and this is heavy rain that's going to basically awaken everybody with a raw, heavy rain, but maybe even snow. So we're getting into the early morning hours of tomorrow here in northern Illinois, sections of Iowa, sections of Wisconsin, and this is what you're going to be called a rate-driven rain or snow. So basically, the heavier the precipitation is, the lower the temperatures have a chance to drop, and the higher the chances of snow to fall. And the air, basically the air aloft, up in the air, the upper levels of the atmosphere has a chance to cool down and create a heavy burst of snow. So these areas, if you live in northern Illinois, for sure, you could wake up to a heavy burst of snow for your Mother's Day. That's an interesting way to tell all the mothers out there we love them, is heavy snow on, May 9th. And even in this area, in the northern areas up here, this is rare. This is not common at all. I mean, it's happened before, but this is getting to the rare territory for sure. In fact, I think Cleveland saw snow a couple years ago around the same time frame. So it's not super rare, but super uncommon for sure. But this is the HRRR model showing it. I want to note that this model has been on it lately. It's developed a really good track record the last several months for severe weather season. It's done very good. So this is going to be a big test on it, because let me tell you, the HRRR model is kind of on its own with how aggressive it is, just showing with the snow. But it's trying to show a heavy burst of snow really in this area, even getting into Chicago. But look down here in Indiana and Illinois. It's showing it for this area. This is for Sunday morning. This is as you're waking up. South Bend area. It's starting to get closer to Cleveland. Maybe Cleveland can get a burst of heavy snow. This moves through. But you notice the southern sections of these states that are getting snow, and the northern sections might be getting severe weather and heavy rain. Either way, it's going to be very raw. Raw as in, if you don't ever heard of the term raw used with weather, it's basically cold and damp conditions. So You look at the NAM. The NAM isn't quite the same. It shows the same system, but it's not as aggressive. It shows a little spurts of heavy snow mixed in with the rain, but it's not as widened of an area. It's definitely not as aggressive as the H-R Model 1, but it definitely does show pockets of snow for sure. So it's picking up on something for sure. You look up here at temperatures. I want to show you this. Look at the warmer air down here. This is just a clear sign that it's May. It's not February or March. You have warm air really close to this system. And it's just a very tight boundary of cold air and warm air. But basically, this is when the snow is supposed to be falling. You got temperatures in the 30s, very marginal temperatures. So it tells you right there that the only reason these temperatures are this cold is because you have heavy precipitation, or just precipitation, rain in general in this area, and potentially snow. So the heavier the rain falls in these areas, the higher the chance for maybe a quick switch to heavy, wet, really wet snow. So if it switches to snow in these areas, guys, these snowflakes are probably going to be as big as quarters for sure. So it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. You notice, you can obviously tell where the precipitation is falling. You have the much warmer air down here, the cooler air down here. But look up here, temperatures are in the 50s as you're getting into later in the morning tomorrow into early afternoon. And that just tells you that it's warming up where the rain's not falling, and the precipitation's not falling, the moisture isn't. So it's basically only cooler in this area because there is moisture falling. So it's going to be absolutely a raw day in this section of the country tomorrow for your Mother's Day. I mean, it's going to be raw. Check out the snowfall showing up for the H-R model run. This is ridiculous. It's not going to snow this much. But let me tell you, I would not be surprised somewhere in northern Illinois, northern Indiana, maybe even portions of northwest Ohio, that sees maybe a burst of 1 to 2 inches of snow. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be shocked at all. When you get, even here in Columbia, South Carolina, where I live, on November 1st, 2014, it snowed 4 to 5 inches in an area right outside of my area, where we had a cold air pocket aloft of very cold air, and the rates were so intense that it snowed and stuck on the ground. So it can happen, and trust me, that's even rare for this time of the year up here. So it's going to be interesting. You look at the National Weather Service, they are not biting on this at all. This is through the entire event. They're not even showing a single flake hardly falling and no accumulation. Same thing, you move a little east, the only area where they're showing snow potentially falling is the highest elevations of West Virginia. So the National Weather Service ain't really having anything to do with it. Kind of don't blame them. But let me tell you, it's going to snow somewhere in this area tomorrow, that's for sure. I want to take a look at this. This is soundings. I'm going to click right here in northern Illinois. This is definitely a snow sounding. It's barely a snow sounding, but it definitely is. You got 33 degrees at the surface. This is the 32-degree line going up. Notice that the temperatures and the dew points ride this 32-degree line way up into the upper, pretty high up in the atmosphere, and then it gets much colder after that naturally. So it stays at the 32-degree line. So basically, you got heavy rates advertised by these high DGZs, and this is a heavy wet snow sounding. So it's very interesting to see what's going to occur in this area tomorrow. So that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in, and y'all have a great day, and stay tuned for tonight. I'll have a video talking about severe weather potential as we get into early next week.